Hello, it's a new day, and today I thought I would discuss why I chose the name My Ugly Gym for this channel, in case it's not obvious, as well as how I built this gym, the process I took. I took a not very common path to get here, and it might be of interest to some of you. So stick around to hear about that towards the end of this video. But first I'm gonna cover why I call it this and then go from there. All right, so first things first, why is this called My Ugly Gym? Well, it's not finished. This space is not finished. We've got open insulation up here, spray foam insulation, open beams. Look at that. You can see the top of my head and some other things here. And we've got, sheetrock with no mudding and taping. We've got just not, it's not pretty, and that's okay. It's usable. Now this room is an attic truss space above our garage. We live in Minnesota. So this room was not usable until my partner so kindly finished it for me. And by finish, I mean made it warm enough to survive in the winter. So we've got the insulation. He installed some heating ducts. He installed some light fixtures for me and outlets because I do have a treadmill behind the camera here and things that I need the outlets for. So he helped me out there and now I can use it. So that's awesome. Another reason this space is ugly is because I have to share it with storage. So it's a big room. It's quite large. And I have a lot of gym equipment, and don't get me wrong, I have some more I want to get, but I just have to share it with storage for now. I would love, once we finish it, if we could have some like walls maybe where the storage could be hidden behind. I wouldn't have to look at these ugly pieces. For example, let me show you here. This thing, don't tell my mother-in-law, but I do not like this thing. And my partner knows it, and he pranks me with it all the time. So I shouldn't have let him know I dislike it. That's the rule. But he'll just put it out randomly like this. And she really got it for my toddler. So, to be fair, toddlers like weird stuff like this. But what ended up happening is I taught my toddler to punch it. So now she comes up to it and knocks it over. So that thing gets to stare at me all the time. And I don't love that. But there it is. Additionally, we've got skeletons abound because my daughter loves skeletons and she insisted I set those up. Another reason it's kind of ugly is because my daughter uses this as a play space. So she thinks it's a great spot to build obstacle courses. And you know what? Our nephews who used to come over here when they're younger thought the same thing. So we've got all sorts of cool things they can set up with obstacles. We've got rings. We've got, I have like pads you put on the floor for dropping your barbell. We've got everything in here that it's just like a kid playground, honestly. So, and I'm not mad. It's great. It's a great spot for her to play. It just means just about every time I work out, I have to clean it up, especially on Monday mornings because the weekend was a lot of obstacle course play. And so I just have to get creative with how I store things in here and where things go because it's just not pretty. It's not a pretty space. Once we finish it, I'm sure I can organize it better. But let me show you what I've got going on in here. And you can see for yourself, it's actually quite functional. Has everything I want and need. And I love it. I got my Peloton bike. I've got my plate loaded leg curl and extension, which is crucial if you want safe knees and you're a runner. My storage back here on some items. I don't use all those anymore. I should go through them. And then this is the main piece, of course, my power rack. I've got my barbell. It's got a pull-up bar. I've got a TRX there that I don't use a ton. And then, of course, plates. Over here, I've got a few smaller plates that that's hugging now. Oh, great. I love that for me. And then my trap bar behind here, as I said, I have to use storage. That is flooring that will eventually go in here. That is a water ski that we were going to use for decoration. Yeah, this is just an interesting space. This is my plate loaded cable machine, and that is my daughter's favorite skeleton. This is a hip thrust pad. So I got this from Brett Contreras, and he is the glute guy, so he's great. It's a perfect height for hip thrusts. I've got some, different attachments for my cables. That is a weird thing I ended up getting for calf raises because I don't really have a good space for them, so I just bought that. This little mess of a section, we've got the adjustable dumbbells. These are the Bowflex ones. They work great for me. I haven't had any issues, honestly. They go up to 52.5 pounds each. So you can do a ton with these. I love them. Obviously, we got kettlebells. I already talked about my calf raise. Very important piece. This is a barbell pad. This is for hip thrusts, basically. It's to protect leal uterus. Very important. You can fold up a yoga mat or something, but I much prefer this. It's a lot thicker, a lot better protection, and it's not that expensive. You can get them for, shoot, 10, 20 bucks on Amazon. This one is from Brett Contreras again. I just got it when I got this hip thrust bench, but love it. These are farmer carry handles. So these are mainly they're a strongman implement or for strongman training. I don't know that they necessarily use this particular one in strongman competition. But basically you can load them with plates, so you can get them significantly heavier than you could a dumbbell. And this is great for working on grip strength. So I highly recommend farmer carries of all kinds, even if it's just a dumbbell, to work on your grip strength. And I really, really love these. They were a great purchase for me. And I can even just use them down the hallway outside of this gym if I need to. They're awesome. I also have, these are yoga balls. They're yoga tune-up balls. These are from a friend of mine. She's a yoga therapist, and she found out I was doing rolling my back out with lacrosse balls. And so she said, girl, no, let me get you these yoga balls. You're gonna love them. So she brought them over to me, and she's right, I love them. They're so lacrosse balls are really hard, and then tennis balls are a little bit soft. So both are great options for rolling, but these are superior. So they're a little bit, I don't know if you can see, but they have a little bit more squish than a lacrosse ball, but less than a tennis ball. And so they're just great at getting into certain spots like a piriformis muscle, or even you can use them on like your neck or whatever. I love them. I love them so much I got a second pair for keeping downstairs, because who wants to walk up the stairs after a leg day to get their balls? All right, now as for how I built this space, it was very slow and intentional over time. And I made it that way on purpose. So I really wanted it to be a space that wouldn't get wasted. I wanted all the equipment I got to be used and loved, and I didn't want to spend a ton of money because home gym equipment is really expensive. So how I do this, and this is kind of how I operate a lot of things in life, is I will set a goal. So I'll have some sort of goal in mind. For example, for the very start of this gym, my goal at the time, this is in our old house where we used to live. My goal at the time was to get up not every day, but 3 days a week at 4:30 in the morning, and I would commute downtown and work out at the gym downtown before going to work. So my goal was 3 days a week for 6 months to stay consistent for that time. And if I was successful with that, then I would buy this power rack behind me. And so that's exactly what I did. I stayed consistent. I did all of the workouts. I got up at 4:30 in the morning. It was brutal because I am not a morning person, okay? I'm a night person. But it was the only time I could make work, okay? That was it. That's all the only time I had. So that was what I made work, because that's how life is, right? And so that's what I did. So I went and bought this power rack. I can't remember if I had my adjustable dumbbells already or not. I may have already purchased them, but they were either purchased at the same time or shortly before it. I just can't recall when. And so that was my first home gym setup. I put it in our garage at the time. We had a 3-car garage, and it was in the little third stall. It was very small. That garage, we did have heat in it, but we didn't keep it above 55 degrees Fahrenheit in the winter. So it was cold in there. I had to work out in a sweatshirt and sweatpants in the winter. In the summer is another story, but it wasn't air conditioned. So in the summer it was hot, but I just loved it. It was great. I could just get up in the morning. I got to wake up a little bit later. I could get that workout done. I could shower at home and get ready and then go downtown, right? It was awesome. And so I did that. And then from there, the goals shifted a little bit. But I can give you some specific goals that I did do for other equipment. So this cable machine, I bought maybe a year ago at this point, maybe 2 years ago. And my daughter's about to be 3. So I was postpartum when I set this goal. And I said, all right, I'm I'm gonna do 3 days a week of working out, and I'm gonna also do 2 days a week of pelvic floor work. And once I do that for 6 months, then I can buy myself this cable machine. And so that's what I did. I hit that goal, I reached it, I got the cable machine. And same thing for the treadmill. I didn't show you the treadmill because it's not that pretty, but I got this treadmill for free, and I'm so grateful that our friend gave us this treadmill. But it is very loud and it is older. But really love something with a little more cushioning and something that's quieter. Because right now this one is so loud, if my daughter's sleeping, I can't use it. You can hear it through the whole house. So I couldn't even run out in the morning if I wanted to, or over her nap time or anything like that. I just can't make that work. So it's not great. Like if my workout day has a run and I'm home solo with her, I can't get that done until my partner's home from work. So it's just not ideal. So my goal for that was, all right, once I do 6 months of 2 days a week running, then I can buy a new treadmill. I hit that goal last year, but I still haven't bought a new treadmill because I am being cheap. They're like $3,000 a minimum, the ones I want. And so I'm just kind of waiting for a sale, or if I can find one on Marketplace or something like that. That's what I've kind of got my eye on that for now. But I will get a new one soon. I have hit my goal. I have maintained that. I've been doing great with it. I even ran a 5K last weekend, which I haven't talked about on this channel yet. I will get there. And so that's how I've worked it. I've just always set a goal and reached it, and then I get a new piece of equipment. The reason I think this works is because it just works. Life works that way in general. So I feel like the tendency for a lot of folks, and I used to be this way too, and now that I'm older, I realize it doesn't work that well, is the tendency is for people to just overhaul their lives immediately and make all these crazy changes, and that everything's gonna be golden. I'm gonna work out 5 days a week. I'm gonna calorie cut 1,000 calories a day. Or eat 1,200 calories a day or some crazy number. I'm gonna dye my hair. I'm gonna get my nails done. Whatever. Just people just want to overhaul everything at once, and it really doesn't work very well. I think it works for some people, but I really think that percentage is small. I think for most of us, what works are small changes, one at a time, and sustaining that change for a duration before adding on another change. And that's exactly what I've done in this gym, and that's exactly what I've done in my diet when I've lost weight. That's what I've done with building muscle over the years, and it works. Slow and steady wins the race. That is legit. That's real. It actually works. So for most of us, one change, make it small, stick to it for at least a few weeks before adding a second change on. And so I think it's a good life lesson. I think it's a good thing for people to practice, myself included. And so that's probably really loud. Sorry. Hello. So I just practice that slowly over time. I apply it to so many things in my life. That means gym equipment too. I hope you guys enjoyed my little chaotic gym tour and explanation of why this channel is called what it is. I'm gonna get this makeup off and get this workout done. I hope you have a great day.